able to solve a multi-step equation, one of the most important things you can do in Algebra 1. So here are the steps for it. You always distribute first, and then you could clear the fractions or decimals after that. Highly recommend that step. Combine your like terms on the same side of the equal sign, then get your variables on the same side, and then the last two are just the two-step equations: undo addition, subtraction, undo multiplication, and division. So you might not need to do all 6 of those steps, but if you just follow that order every time, you'll get it perfect. So negative 12 equals 9x minus 6x plus 15. Nothing to distribute. Any like terms on the same side? Yeah. Over here, we have 9x minus 6x. That's 3x. So negative 12 equals 3x plus 15. Now, I've seen students, they like staying organized, and they'll put a line down the equal sign, which is great. And then if you do something to one side of that, you have to do it to the other side. So when you're combining on the same side, that's different. But like here, we're going to get rid of that plus 15 by subtracting 15. To keep an equation balanced, if you do it over here, you have to do it over here. So negative 12 minus 15 is negative 27 equals 3x. And then 3x, we just have to divide by that 3. Negative 9 equals x. So I'd like you to try out these three. Pause it here. I'm going to work them out really quick and check if you have the same thing. All right, now we're going to have one where we have to distribute. So that should always be your first step. So we need to multiply this 2 times both of those. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times negative x is negative 2x. And then it just becomes a problem just like the one before. Combine your like terms. 2 plus 3 is 5. So we have negative 2x plus 5 equals negative 8. You have to get rid of the plus 5 by subtracting 5. Negative 2x equals negative 13, and then we would have to divide out that negative 2. And we'll just leave it as a fraction. 13 halves, right? The two negatives cancel out. So I have some that I'd like you to try. There's 6 of them here. Go ahead and try them on your notes. For video time's sake, we're not going to have time to go over all 6 of these. All right, now we're going to get the variables on both sides in these problems. So this is where it's pretty helpful to throw a line down the middle. If you do something to one side, do it to the other side to keep it balanced. If you like add or subtract something to both sides. If you're just combining like terms or distributing, that doesn't count. But if you're going to add something on the left side, you need to add it on the right side. If you're going to divide the left, divide the right. So nothing to distribute, no like terms. Step 3, this is the first time, well, step 4, the way it was written initially, is to get the variables on the same side. Now typically, I like to get rid of the smaller one, which in this case would be negative 9x. But since it's the only thing on that side of the equal sign, I'm actually going to get rid of the negative 4x. You're either going to add it or subtract it. If it's negative, we're always doing the opposite to get rid of stuff. So if it's minus 4x, we're going to add 4x to both sides. This would give us 10 equals negative 5x, and then you would just have to divide by the negative 5. We get negative 2 equals x. All right. Ooh, Ooh, this one's got distribution as well. Whoa. So distribute. 3 times 3x is 9x. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. 1/4 of 32, when you're multiplying by 1/4, it's just like what's it divided by 4? So that would be 8x. And 1/4 of 56 is 14. So now we have 8x over here, 9x over there. I would get rid of the 8x. So what's the opposite of 8x? Negative 8x. So we're going to subtract 8x's from both sides. 9x minus 8x is x, minus 12 equals 14. And then we just have to add that 12. X equals 26. We have some practice problems down here. If you'd like, practice them. I think that's a great idea. Solve them. Make sure you get that correct answer. Now we're going to go to this last type of problem. You'll see these ones are kind of bizarre. So here, if we distribute, we get 15x plus 6 equals 15x. And then you're like, okay, we get rid of the 15x by subtracting 15x from both sides. And 6 equals 0. Now, does 6 equal 0? No. All the variables vanished. And we're left with something that is not true. So if that happens, only if all the variables go away, and it's not true, you would say no solution. So if we did that on this one, we'd get negative 8y minus 2 equals negative 8y minus 2. Huh. Okay. That looks identical on both sides. So if we add 8y, we're left with negative 2 equals negative 2. No variables, and that's true. If you have the identical thing on both sides of the equal sign, you say that's an identity. Which means you can substitute in anything you want for y in the original equation, and it will work. So if everything cancels and it's not true, it's no solution. If it cancels out and it is true, that would be your identity.